Thank you very much for
First of all, it's my pleasure, and I'd like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to be here. Of course, I'd like to make it clear that I'm not representing SCSA here. It is more as a teacher rather than a regulator from the environment MOE. So whatever I'll be talking, it is from a teacher's point of view, not from a regulator. So I hope I will be having the right to take exceptions or some negative points also. Please don't mind that. First of all, this is Steel and Power Expo. I feel very happy that I was born in Raipur. Then I went to Korba. I had my entire school education from the 70s at Korba, which is a place where entire power industry, which became, I saw the Korba becoming a power hub from a, I think 100 megawatt single power plant. I saw Korba turning into a power hub, and I saw the pollution also levels rising up in Korba. Then I came to Raipur for doing my studies, higher studies, and I started my job at Bhilai, which is the steel, I must say, the heart of the steel production of India at that particular time, even now. And now working at Raipur, which can be truly called as a steel hub of nation also. So since morning I have been hearing very nice presentations, and being a speaker, the 6 and 7 number, many of your points are well taken by your previous speakers. So I would like to in fact focus at this particular point on the sponge iron industry. And if we look at the way the world steel production has developed, or the world steel market is growing, right from 19th century, you'll see. This graph which is before you, it will beautifully show that how the entire industry has progressed. Starting from EAF route to the BO route, then ultimately going to the variety of the desirable consumer products. Ultimately, we have entered from the mass production area to the quality area to the cost management area to the customer engineered area, and now it can be said that we are entering into eco-efficiency area. Now the steel industry has to perform in the terms of eco-sensitivity and ecologically efficient also. This is one of the, as Mr. Changani was very nicely answering one particular question, that why the steel prices are rising. So he narrated some of the mines have been closed, some of the sponge iron industries are out of the business. Behind them, in some of the cases, environmental regulations are also playing important role. Because somewhere or other, environmental violations are responsible for closure of some of the units. And obviously, that is again stressing the point that ecological efficiency or eco-efficiency, environmental efficiency is the now primary focus, should be the primary focus of every steel maker. This figure has already been shown, I think, and JPC has shown some changes also. But still, we are among the top players, top world and steel producers. This part I'll leave apart. This also route how this is produced, how the steel is produced, and all that. Among these one, I would like to particularly focus on DRI, direct reduction of the iron, the direct reduction process. This is the process where, as you have seen by the various data presented, that India is the leader. I'll show you that particular part. In fact, this is the global trend of the DRI production. Starting from a very meager 0.079 metric ton, it has gone up to the 67.2, that is million metric tons in 2007. This is a very vital route, and into this one, if you will see that what is the contribution of India, you will find this is the total contribution from India. 20.1 is a figure at this particular moment. And in fact, we are the largest DRI route producers in the world. And when we are the largest, obviously you have to see, we can compare it with other countries. These are the other countries, how many MTPA is being produced by various countries. You will find that India is far ahead then the second country, that is Venezuela. And this is the, like you can see that we are, since last particular 3 years, this position is continuously being consolidated since last 3 years. Out of this, now what are the technologies which are being used? So you'll find that these are the various technologies for production of the DRI. And among these, coal-based technique account for around 22.6% roughly. Whereas if we talk about globally, then the gas-based technology is coal-based. So what is the point in telling all these one? That coal-based industries, coal-based DRI is predominating. And even the EF and ISPs are switching to the use of DRI, as very nicely presented by my previous speakers. That in fact we are able to make very good quality steel also through these tons of the iron ore, 120 to 150 tons of coal, 3.5 to 5 tons of dolomite, and 2 to 2 tons of water is there. And the production, as you can see, that is 1.8 to 2 tons of the CO2 is there, 10 to 15 tons of the dust is there, 2.5 to 3.4 tons of the kiln accretion is there, 25 to 30 tons of the char is there. These are the total waste is there, and therefore ultimately we can say that total solid disposal load per 100 TPD of the DRI is around 40 to 50%. This is the one of the very disadvantageous figure fact as far as the DRI route is concerned. And we keep visiting many of the sponge iron industries, DRI industries situated in Chhattisgarh. There are a variety of the reasons are there. I don't blame anybody. There are many technical issues are there which are unavoidable. There are some avoidable issues are there which are not taken proper care. So variety of the issues are there. Whatever will be the thing, that opening of the emergency cap and subsequently this type of a condition emanating from the DRI industries, sponge iron industries, is seen in many parts of our own state. And these are the issues. This is the one particular fact. This, as you can see, that being a visible pollution, the opposition from public to the industry is growing. We cannot shy away from this one. But this is the fact that there is in the mindset of the people, there is a opposition to the operation of such industries. And in such a situation, it is becoming, this can be an emergency cap open. Similarly, fugitive emissions from the secondary sources is also quite high in many of the industries. These are the norms as far as the particulate matter and carbon monoxide. These are the various norms are there. But how much the norms are there, they are like whether what are the reasons that these violations are taking place. It is the industry and the regulators have to introspect. And we have to find the issue that what can be done to avoid such a situation. For example, installation of WHRB, that is the waste heat recovery boiler, could be one of the very good route which will be also giving an energy efficient solution because it will be producing energy. It will also be reducing the emissions from the DRI industry, from the sponge iron industry. Unfortunately, many of the old sponge iron plants are not having this WHRB facility. Similarly, the solid waste disposal from these industries is becoming a major problem. Though we say that Dolochar should be used in FBC boiler, to some extent it has been practiced, it is being practiced. But again, it is not very successful due to certain reasons. Or maybe the more encouragement or more promotion is required for as a disposal solution for this coal char. Similarly, the effectiveness of the emission control system in rotary kiln is required to be obtained. And for that, variety of the issues, for example, maintaining properly specific campaign period for the rotary kiln, keeping the iron ore and coal under the covered shed, variety of the systems. For example, I was just looking one particular company was showing the use of the dry fog dust suppression system.